Welcome back to another video. This time we will be reviewing Building and Racing, an event exclusive kit released to commemorate the Japan Cup in 2018. That kit is the Abilista. This will be a more in-depth review of the Japan Cup kit, which is using the MA chassis. This will serve as an introduction for racers who are just starting or racers who are returning to the hobby and will be encountering the MA chassis for the first time. We will have a look at what information you can find on the box, then review the actual contents. Afterwards, I will showcase the built kit, running it on a track. This is so that you can have an idea on how it performs when properly built. Hopefully, this will provide you knowledge on the MA chassis to allow you to make an informed decision on whether or not to get the kit or race any MA chassis. Just a reminder, I will not include the actual build of the kit. There will be a separate video dedicated to the full build, which will be a more step-by-step guide covering the basics and some tips as well. I will post a link or you can check that out in the playlist. Right, let's begin. Alright, so looking at the box, we have two logos that you'll find with most of the kits, and I'll just briefly explain them. First off is the Mini 4-Wheel Drive Pro logo. This refers to the Mini 4-Wheel Drive car lineup introduced in November 2005 by Tamiya. The unique feature of this series is that all cars are powered by a double shaft motor driven 4-wheel drive system that directly transfers power to all four wheels. Currently there are two chassis in this lineup, one being the MS chassis and its later iteration, the MA chassis. With the MA chassis logo, obviously this refers to the chassis itself. This was released by Tamiya in June 2013, so 8 years after the original MS chassis was released, and MA stands for Midship Aero. So as the name suggests, it is a mix between the MS and AR chassis, and this can be seen in the fact that the MA chassis has a mid-motor layout but also has the aerodynamic and one-piece design of the AR chassis. The Abilista is a Mini 4-Wheel Drive Pro car released by Tamiya on July 12, 2014. It was featured in the ongoing manga Hyper Dash Yonkuro as one of the street Mini 4-Wheel Drive racers machines. Fortunately, I haven't seen that one myself, so if anyone has a link to it, feel free to share it. Currently, the Japan Cup 2018 Limited Edition along with the Clear Purple Special are the only two variants of the original or the standard release of the Abilista. This is the box art. It's difficult to get it all in frame, and the lighting here is terrible as well. So anyway, so let's go ahead and review what's in the box. So here's the art on the side. This show product shots of the kit assembled. Item 95109. So it is a limited release kit. Same thing on the other side. And here is the description of what's in the package. See there, ABS resin body, polycarbonate ABS reinforced chassis. The chassis is actually a lot sturdier. We have Ace Pro wheels, gunmetal in color, super hard tires, black with prints. That's another nice thing about this kit. Also metallic stickers. It has the 3.5 gear included. Lastly, a double shaft motor. You'll need two AA batteries. Let's see the description inside. So here's the description of the chassis. Unfortunately, it's all in Japanese, as you can see here. So just description of the parts of the chassis. You have a rear skid bar. You see here. This is the rear roller stay, where you can mount two rollers, one at the top and the bottom. Alright, let's go ahead and open the box. Alright, so we'll start off here with the super hard wheels. So you can see there's actually a print which is Japan Cup 2018, and then Tamiya Mini 4-Wheel Drive. So these are all the same width, narrow wheels. The spoke wheels, front or back, doesn't matter, they're all the same. And then you have your body. So this is the Abilista body. Anyway, so it has a spoiler and then this cover here. Then you have your MA chassis. So this is white and this is actually polycarbonate ABS reinforced, so this is a very sturdy chassis. So I'll show you later one thing I do when dealing with this kind of kit. This is where the switch will go, this is where the terminals will go, batteries, your motor, double shaft motor will go here, and your gears will go here. And as you can see, there's actually no propeller shaft, which is one of the great things about the MA chassis. Basically, you don't have to worry about your propeller shafts giving way during a race. So if you raced before with Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive, then you'll know that that was one of the biggest issues we had back in the day. So oftentimes the propeller shaft would give out, especially if you're using like a higher torque motor, and definitely just regular use over time, it will eventually give. So it's something to note with the single shaft motors. But here, the double shaft motor will transfer the power directly to the gears and obviously onto the wheel. So it's a much better transmission overall, I think. And then you have your rear stay here, which allows you to mount a roller on the top and on the bottom, and you can actually mount it on 2 points. So here's the other side, and yeah, you have your side stay here, so you can mount like rollers as well on that if you want to. And then your front bumper, so it's reinforced, and you have like several mounting points here as well, but the rollers can only be mounted at the ends. But these other points here are pretty much used to mount upgrades parts, like things like a sliding damper or maybe a reinforcing plate. Same thing here at the back, so you have like multiple mounting points. Even on the side, there are actually side FRPs that you can use, so it gives you pretty much a lot of options in terms of reinforcing this. So if you're going to be using like higher torque motors, racing it faster, you have different options to do that. That's it for the chassis. Just a quick rundown on the baggie. So this will contain like your terminals, the grease, the screws, step screws, washers, obviously your double shaft motor, which I believe is going to be Mabuchi. Actually, I'm looking at it. No, it's actually an SMC motor, not a Mabuchi motor. So then you have here your wheel axles or wheel shafts, your gears, 3.5 is to 1 gear. The gear ratio means that the motor, the pinion, will spin 3.5 times before you can get 1 rotation on these gears. That's for the baggie. Your A parts is also molded in white. If you're new to MA, the MA chassis, so a lot of the parts here will probably be like not like the first time that you've seen it if you've been racing on either like a front motor or rear motor model. But and you can see here immediately there's like 6 rollers. You have here the eyelets. The eyelets are also improved compared to the eyelets with single shaft motors, wherein you'll need an eyelet and then a bushing. So this one actually guides the wheel shafts, and then you have these 2 eyelets as well, but they'll be mounted into the gears. So you have here your gear cover, you have your battery lock, terminal locks, terminal supports, and then these 2 will form the motor housing. This is the cowl body lock, and this tool is actually used to like release the terminal locks and also the rotating switch. So if you need to like replace the motor for some reason, and this part here is also unique to the MA chassis. It's actually, as you can see there's like a hole. So what you do is you actually mount the pinion on that one, so that pretty much keeps your pinion in place when you're pushing the motor into it. If you've installed pinion gears before on motors, so one of the difficult things is sometimes like if you're not careful, it actually like flies away when you exert some pressure if you don't center it. So this definitely is a very helpful tool. It's very little addition to the MA kit, but really it's like a very handy tool. It's one of the things that I enjoyed when I got back into the hobby. So you'll have your manual, your safety precautions. Final thoughts on the Japan Cup 2018 Abilista kit. Is it worth buying? The fact that it's going to be a limited edition kit definitely means you should be purchasing it if you can still get your hands on one. Everything on this kit can be reused, either for Pro Stock, T-Mac, or Speed Tech. For box stock racing, it's definitely a viable kit to use because of its super hard tires and the MA chassis' relative stability and speed. Although what you do need to be aware of is the total weight of the kit, because it's comparing it to something like a Super 2. You see how much it weighs, almost 20 grams more than the Super 2 chassis. So it's one thing to consider. I guess one of the reasons is the cowl itself. Since the cowl the profile is quite big, that's where most of the weight is going to be coming from. Otherwise, yeah, I think it's still a good kit to buy. Definitely recommend getting this kit if it's just for your collection or something that you want to use for races.